Imagine, if you will, the power of mystery. The power of holding your cards close to your chest. See, too often we rush to tell the world what we're up to. We want them to see our plans, to validate our dreams, to understand our vision. But let me tell you something, there is strength in silence, there is wisdom in discretion, and there is power in restraint. When you reveal too much too soon, you open the door for opinions, doubts, and distractions. You invite people into a space that was never meant for them. Not everyone is equipped to understand your calling. Not everyone will appreciate your journey. And here's the thing, when people can't understand it, they try to diminish it. They try to categorize it, box it up, label it. And in doing so, they strip it of its uniqueness, its beauty, its divinely inspired nature. But when you hold back, when you operate with intentionality and silence, you create an air of mystery. Mystery draws attention without you having to say a word. People are naturally curious about what they cannot see, about what they cannot fully grasp. When you withhold the details, they lean in. They want to know more. And in their curiosity, you gain leverage. You don't have to demand respect, your silence commands it. You don't have to explain yourself, your restraint speaks volumes. Now, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. No, this is about protecting the sacredness of your work. It's about honoring the process that's unfolding within you. Some things are not ready to be exposed to the light. Seeds don't grow when they're left uncovered. They need the soil, the darkness, the quiet to develop roots. If you dig them up too soon, they'll never bloom. Your plans, your dreams, your calling, they are seeds. They need time to take root before they can withstand the exposure. I think about the greatest innovators, the greatest achievers. They didn't shout their ideas from the rooftops before they had proof of concept. They worked in silence, they prepared in private, and then when the time was right, they revealed what they'd been building. And when they did, the world couldn't help but take notice. That's the power of mystery. So I challenge you, don't be so quick to share your every move. Hold some things close. Guard the vision that has been placed within you. Let people wonder, let them speculate, let them marvel. Because when the time comes for you to reveal what you've been working on, the impact will be undeniable, and the world will have no choice but to recognize the greatness that was quietly taking shape all along. There is power in mystery. Walk in it, trust in it, and let it work for you. We live in a world quick to judge, quick to categorize, and even quicker to dismiss. The moment you open your mouth and share your dreams, your goals, or your plans, you risk exposing them to the harsh winds of opinion. And let me tell you, not everyone has the vision to see what you see. Not everyone has the discernment to recognize the value of what you're building. When you share too soon, you give others the opportunity to critique a masterpiece still in progress, a dream that's not yet fully formed. And that critique can derail even the most passionate of hearts. You see, when you tell people what you do, you're not just sharing a title or an idea, you're opening up a piece of yourself. And when you do that too early, you hand over the keys to your confidence. You're inviting opinions unsolicited and often uninformed that can shake your foundation. The problem is, we often seek validation from those who can't even comprehend our vision. They look at your dream through the lens of their limitations. And because they can't imagine it for themselves, they can't believe it's possible for you. But here's the truth, not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone is supposed to see what you're working toward. And that's okay. Some things are meant to be nurtured in the quiet and the stillness where they can grow strong before facing the storm of public scrutiny. When you protect your plans, you give them the time and space to mature, to develop into something undeniable, something that no one can tear down with a casual word. Let me tell you, there is freedom in not needing to explain yourself. There is peace in knowing that your worth is not tied to someone else's opinion. When you keep your focus on the work, on the process, and not on the applause or approval, you free yourself from the weight of expectations. You become unshakable because you're no longer tied to the validation of others. And when the time comes to show the world what you've been building, you can do so with confidence, knowing it's ready to stand on its own. Sometimes the best response to a world that's quick to judge is silence. Let your work speak for itself. Let your results tell the story. Because when people see what you've accomplished, when they witness the fruit of your labor, their opinions will no longer matter. Your success will speak louder than their doubts, louder than their criticisms, louder than their inability to understand. So don't rush to explain, don't rush to share, let them wonder, let them doubt, let them misjudge if they must. Because when you stay focused, when you stay grounded, you're not just proving them wrong, you're proving yourself right. And that, my friend, is a victory worth waiting for.
There is something sacred about building relationships that go beyond the surface. Too often, we define ourselves and others by what we do instead of who we are. But let me tell you, true connection doesn't happen in the realm of titles, positions, or achievements. It happens in the depths of shared humanity, where we see each other not for what we can produce, but for who we truly are. When you lead with what you do, you risk reducing yourself to a label, a role, or a set of accomplishments, and people will treat you according to that label. They'll box you in, decide your worth based on what you bring to the table, and limit their understanding of your potential to their preconceived notions. But when you hold back, when you let the relationship develop organically, you give space for something deeper, something more meaningful to grow. You allow people to see the person behind the title, the soul behind the work. We live in a world obsessed with networking, with climbing ladders and making connections that serve a purpose. But let me tell you something. The most valuable relationships in your life will not be transactional. They will be transformational. They won't be about what you can do for someone or what they can do for you. They will be about mutual respect, shared values, and an understanding that goes beyond the surface. When you refrain from telling people what you do, you give them the chance to experience the essence of who you are. You allow them to see your character, your kindness, your integrity. You build trust, not on the shaky ground of professional utility, but on the solid foundation of authenticity. And that kind of trust is unshakable. It's the kind of trust that can withstand the storms of life, the challenges of work, and the complexities of human connection. Now, this doesn't mean you hide who you are or what you're about. It simply means you prioritize the person over the position. You let your actions, your words, and your presence speak louder than your resume. You show people what you stand for, not just what you do for a living. And in doing so, you invite them into a relationship that is real, that is honest, and that is free from the constraints of societal expectations. Let me remind you, the greatest opportunities in life often come not from the people who are impressed by what you do, but from the people who believe in who you are. These are the people who will stand by you when titles fade, when positions change, and when achievements are forgotten. These are the people who will celebrate your victories and support you in your struggles, not because of what you do, but because of who you are to them. So, don't rush to define yourself by your job or your achievements. Let your relationships be rooted in authenticity, not utility. And watch how, over time, those connections become some of the most rewarding, life-giving, and enduring aspects of your journey. Sometimes, the greatest weight we carry is not the work we do, but the expectations we allow others to place on us. The moment you share your plans, your goals, or your ambitions, the world feels entitled to weigh in. They'll offer opinions, give advice, and place expectations on you that you never asked for. And suddenly, what started as your vision becomes clouded by their voices. But let me tell you, there is freedom, sweet, unshakable freedom in eliminating that external pressure. When you choose to keep your work and your plans private, you create space to focus on what truly matters. You're no longer performing for an audience or trying to meet someone else's standards. Instead, you're able to dig deep and stay aligned with your purpose. You're free to make mistakes, to pivot, to grow without the burden of someone looking over your shoulder. Because, let's be real, not every step of the process is pretty. Sometimes the journey gets messy, and that mess is not for everyone to see. You see, when you tell people what you're working on, they often form expectations based on their limited perspective. They'll project their fears, their insecurities, or their incomplete understanding onto you. They'll start asking questions like, "Why are you doing it that way?" Or, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" And if you're not careful, their doubts can seep into your mind and make you question your own path. But when you keep things to yourself, you guard your peace. You protect your mind from distractions and your heart from unnecessary discouragement. The beauty of operating in silence is that it allows you to stay true to your vision. You're not building to impress anyone, you're building because it's what you're called to do. And when the pressure of external validation is removed, you'll find that your creativity flows more freely. You'll take risks you wouldn't have taken if you were worried about what people might say. You'll step boldly into opportunities that align with your purpose, not someone else's expectations. It's not about shutting people out. It's about being selective about who you allow into the sacred space of your journey. The people who truly support you don't need to know every detail of what you're doing. They'll cheer you on no matter what because they believe in you, not just in your plans. Those are the voices worth listening to, the ones that lift you up, not weigh you down. So give yourself permission to operate without the pressure of external eyes. Work quietly, build intentionally, move in a way that prioritizes your peace and your purpose, because when you free yourself from the need to explain, justify, or impress, you unlock a level of focus and determination that is unstoppable. And when the time comes for you to step into the spotlight, you'll do so not because others pushed you there, but because you are ready, prepared, and walking fully in your own power.